Wonderful.
All right. Hello, Hanin.
Hello.
Uh, well, first of all, I want to thank you, Hanin Malpas, for this invitation. Valisoa and Pranesh for all the support they gave to my lecture these days. And I must also say that it's a great responsibility to speak after Professor Dr. Reggiani Romano, who is one of the most competent smart city world experts in this field. To talk about smart cities is fascinating for many, is scary for others. Today, I want to lecture for both the fascinated and the frightened ones. We're all in the middle of another major technological transformation in which we should empower ourselves so we're not left behind. Hello, everyone. My name is George Barros. I'm CEO of the Smart City Business America Institute in Brazil. We're very proud to be working for the development of smart cities in the American continent, positioned as a nonprofit platform for consulting, sharing knowledge, discussing, informing, building a strategic relationship, and developing business models. All this in favor of strengthening the market and creating a robust ecosystem for our cities. As I was saying before, during these waves of technological transformation, our mission is above all to share useful knowledge, to guide solutions that improve people's well being, to bring to light the understanding of social phenomena, and to drive the transformation of science into technologies that can really serve to improve the world. I recently found out that most of the players and decision makers in this field lack precisely what is most important to boost the smart cities. And that is, or these are, the main concepts and the levers to the transformation process. We have to keep in mind that when we talk about cities to a general audience, it is essential to translate as simple as possible the complex concepts that make it so difficult for most people to understand. And the more people, experts and non experts, understand how technology affects their daily lives, the greater will be and the more effective will be their participation, this citizens' participation in public policy decisions. Consequently, the services provided by the municipal management where they live will improve. So I'm not going to approach complex issues or technical features of digital systems, but instead, today I will give you a greater contribution, taking a closer look at the general key factors for us to succeed in planning and transforming smart cities. Okay? To start with, there are some conceptual confusions about the term smart city that we want to clarify. After a quick survey out among 200 experts on this subject, I could not find two single authors who agreed with the same definition of what a smart city is. But there is an explanation for that. In the recent past, there were two moments, one regarding the translation and the other one regarding the interpretation, which contributed to divert opinions and largely embarrass this concept. The first explanation of these divergences takes us to the end of the 1980s, when, to facilitate and to shorten its writing and pronunciation, the original term intelligent city, I'm going to repeat, the original term intelligent city was changed to smart city. Smart, as you know, has more than one meaning in English, and it also means intelligent sometimes, converging to what it means in the Latin languages, indicating the cognitive ability to understand, okay? But in the technological, military, and in the political fields, it means something different. Specifically in the term intelligent city, the word intelligent is etymologically defined as to demonstrate the capacity of interconnecting functions and data to produce information for decision making. So we learn of this very close but misguided translation give rise to a series of misinterpretations about what a smart city would be. And let's remember that, as incredible as it may seem, wars in the world have been triggered by translation failures, huge conflicts, and crises between countries as well. Here's another example of a mistake that could have been avoided if at the time they had paid attention to the subtlety of the translation of this word. As we can see, a smart city can also be, but it does not necessarily mean a city that is savvy, elegant, clever, or where things work from services provided with a high capacity to understand things. Smart city is primarily a city where solutions applied to meet the needs of citizens are interoperable. And because of this connectivity, they produce additional gains in efficiency, economy, and continuity through the intelligence that unites them. Urban centers use sensors to collect data, and in this way, they provide information for an integrated and efficient management of resources, making good use of technological tools, of course. Interoperability between solutions, therefore, plays a major role in the transformation of a city. As many of the digital resources used in cities must be interdependent in communication with platforms, in communication with servers, and in communication with mobile applications. Pointing out here that while interoperability between systems means the basic principle of any smart solution, it is at the same time a point of controversy and great resistance among almost all software developers who are usually against operating using open protocols. On the other hand, all modern cities already understood that new digital services should be operationally interconnected. This in order to, of course, produce three main things, the following three gains. First one, economy of scale purchasing softwares and hardware. Number two, increasing efficiency of public services provided by the municipal management as a whole. And number three, the guarantee of being able to update the installed technologies in view of their fast obsolescences without having to balancing these principles that we are learning today about what makes a smart city. We easily come to the conclusion realize this concept and what differentiates a digital solution from an intelligent solution. And this is the technological interoperability. In this field of study, one of the most important technological innovations, and still not very widespread, is known as IoT, the Internet of Things, which means a digitally connected universe of everyday physical devices. We all know this. But the experience of the actors involved in IoT in most countries show that the challenges ahead are still enormous. The statistics show that over 80% of smart city projects in emerging countries fail lack of fundings, as many people say or think or suppose. But it's the lack of proper planning, training of the people, and motivating public servants that are the main causes. These three are to blame. And among these three, I want to emphasize that it is necessary to localities in advance in order to motivate them to know and to understand the benefits of emerging and disruptive technologies. And it's also important to train and plan their management staff so that they realize the gains. Qualified teams will understand the main characteristics of technology and its limitations, exploring possibilities at its best. Unqualified teams will normally reject and oppose to any new idea, especially if we're talking about new technologies. We have noticed from our praxis that very few municipalities have realized the enormous importance of training their public services servants. And in addition to this motivation factor, of course, cities also lack an adequate IT infrastructure to operate their digital systems in a way to provide to its citizens better services in an organized, fast, and safe way. Therefore, to really ensure the coordination of management actions and the implementation of intelligent solutions, we strongly recommend to all city managers to create a central entity that can assess and update the different technologies adopted, adapting the current organizational structure of the municipality, implementing connections between city, state, and the central government, all in order to create a network of collaborative development to strengthen collaboration with other government spheres, sharing information, sharing database, adapting existing systems, developing or contracting new systems to meet the needs of this increasingly connected uh, population on smartphones, besides implementing a policy aimed to ensure a digital and debureaucratized government. Let me have some water. Thank you. Another very important lever to boost the smart city projects is the action of bringing together public policymakers, representatives of class entities, researchers, citizens, technologists, and municipal administrators to share new knowledge on how to transform our cities. Most government officers often neglect the importance of creating a sense of belonging among those who will, in the end, benefit from these new public services, forgetting that people have a natural resistance to change and they will build natural opposition, even if it's a good idea. In a modern city, where planning, administration, and governance are operated in a participatory manner, economic opportunities are maximized. The social environment is positively transformed. creativity is fostered, new investments are attracted, intellectual capital is created, local competitiveness is increased, more security is provided, environmental sustainability is guaranteed, leisure and well being are produced for all people. But cities only become better when they are able to face their challenges from this participatory and integrated planning vision. A vision that seeks innovative solutions that go beyond the commonplace of meeting the population's need in isolation. We can say that a smart city is a city where citizens have a good quality of life. And I thank you very much for your attention and hoping to see you soon in one of our many events in the world, around the world.
Thank you so much for this presentation. I think now very, very rare people, do such kind of speech without any support, without any slides, without anything. Thank you. It's a great, let's say, exercise and a challenge, and I'm happy to see that people again do it without any paper. I'm not able to do it, by the way. I need always something, to follow. Thank you so much for this presentation and for the conclusion about something. I love it what Regina presented, because this is a truth. Tech is for good, but also you joined her in somehow when you say the smart city it should be beneficial for people. It should be comfortable for people. This is the smart city. It's not something more than for people good and for people comfort and beneficial for people. This is, I think, very important to see. Now, I mean, we had to, if you look at the chat, many people say this smart city is an older story, isn't it? You mentioned it, that it was intelligent, then became smart, and became now maybe something else, digital twins, or But at the end of the day, this is an older story, and many people say it's the status quo. Means we talk a lot about it, but at the end of the day, since 10 years, we haven't seen a lot of progress. Do you share this statement? How do you think about it? What is your vision also for the future?
Well, we had bad luck regarding the epidemics, of course. If we consider the last 3 years, we should, of course, be very worried about the advancement of our projects around the world. And this should not be taken into consideration. Nevertheless, it is a real problem to introduce these new concepts anywhere in the world. Of course, in countries where technology is more mature, there is an ambience, there is an environment that is more welcoming to new ideas. People are already used to know and to perceive the benefits of new technologies, of disruptive technologies, of emerging technologies. In emerging countries, less developed countries, there is always a great resistance to this, especially not only because it's a new thing and people are naturally resistant to changes, but because they are afraid of losing their jobs. Technological unemployment is a fact in the world. And in emerging countries, it is much more, let's say, serious than in other countries who have already, let's say, reached a certain level of the population, education of the population, and let's say they have an average of more advanced capital, intellectual capital, to meet the needs of these new technologies. In emerging countries, it is unfortunately not true yet. So there is always this fear for the so called technological unemployment. So we have to be very careful not only to motivate these people, but also to prepare them, to train them, to, to give tools that they can also be able to insert themselves in the market using these new technologies.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not only an emerging country, by the way. If even here in France, it's very advanced country, but at the same time, or in Singapore or Japan, people are always afraid about this change that they may make them lose their jobs and make their life more difficult. And I remember just one speech said just in Paris, and they say, okay, just imagine Paris in the 19th century without electricity, and how the business had changed, how the everything could change it. Means technology is always creating jobs and more jobs than what they use. But you are right. This is something that needs to be, explained, and it's matter of education. The second question that we have: who will be the winners of this smart city market? Who will be the winners of this transformation? And I think the question is business too. Means you mentioned it, that is about people and people comfort, but in terms of business too, who will be the winners of this smart city market?
Well, I think I can answer. I think I can answer this question by saying that if the tech, technological enterprises, if software developers, if our commercial interests win, we will have lost the whole thing, because the citizens are the ones who need to win. The citizens are the focus, the main focus of everything that we should do and plan and do in order to transform positively their lives. If this does not happen, then uh, the battle is lost, I would say. We will not have succeeded if this does not happen, if the citizens don't win. So we have to keep in mind, keep the focus, and practice every day uh, the differentiation of commercial technological interests and the citizens' interests, which not every time coincide, which not every time converge. Sometimes they do not converge, and the citizens must win.
I mean, I fully agree on the statement that it should be for good, for people good, and for people well-being before anything else. But here again, business is business. Means you need also companies to build those technologies, to invest. To Regina is doing a lot of R&D, but is testing those also technologies. And the idea is to see who will be the winner in terms of what are the technology maybe that they will be the more developed, or the more use it in the future. I think the question is about this. Um, would you like to add something, or we can go to the round table?
Yes, we can go to the round table.
A round table about climate, about humanity, about how smart city will bring, will improve the climate, will improve sustainability, will make the world greener, and as Jorge say, it will make it will be, the well-being of the people. This is very, very important. Now, we saw this morning that, I mean, when I asked it to the European guys, because they started this morning with the Asian guys, what are the main drivers to the city? And they said, no, we are sure it will happen, because anyway, with the regulation, sustainability became, it's a must. Means everybody need to meet the regulation, everybody need to meet the law in terms of industry, in terms of cities. And with this regulation, we will be able, to take off the smart city, and states will invest in this smart city as well as the industry. Means the main driver, this is my conclusion, but please, the main driver of this smart city takeoff is green award, is the sustainability. What do you think, Regina, about this? And I will go also through my colleagues from Egypt who developed a lot around this topic. Europe also this morning. Regina, what do you think sustainability will be the main driver of the smart city?
Yes, and we here at Facense, Smart Campus Facense, we have a committee and we take about our sustainability all the time. We looking for our water, energy, our rest of the cigarette, our waste. We collect everything and we are always teaching the students that they should not use too much plastic. We cut the plastic inside the university. Every student, every professor that arrive in our university, they receive a cup or a bottle not from plastic, and we cut all plastic inside the university. But not only this, we are always protecting our river. We have a lake inside the university, and we are taking care about our water. And we put the photovoltaic panel, and now we have also aerogeneration, and we also have a biodigester inside the university. And we are the first university more sustainable in Brazil, and we received a not award related to this. So we are
Super.
very, very, very worried
No,
with
this is very
sustainability.
important. But if you do you think that tomorrow, if Sao Paulo or another city of Brazil decide to invest heavily in smart city, it will be because it will bring a greener world? Do you think that the green tech and the sustainability is the main driver of the smart city development?
Yes, I do. Because if we are not sustainable, we will not have life in the earth. So
Yeah,
we
this.
needed to rethink everything. And education is the baseline for this.
Thank you. Bassam, same question for you. Do you think that Tanner developed a lot? I love it really, this presentation about all the numbers that he gave. But just if I look at your customers, Bassam, are they more looking to sustainability for the time being? Do you think that sustainability will be the main driver of smart city in the future?
Yeah, luckily enough, there's the sustainability event, the international sustainability event that is Egypt is hosting during this month. And for sure, sustainability is, as Egypt is hosting that international event, um, it's a major issue now. And even that the government is very much looking into transportation management from a sustainability perspective. So they are now moving diesel cars when it comes to public transportation. The public bus services in the city, they are trying to switch it now to electricity rather than diesel. In the beginning, they were a couple of years ago, they were looking at moving this to natural gas, but now they are considering moving it to be working on electricity. That's a long-term plan and will take a lot of time as the country is really huge, but at least it's a good start.
Yeah, it's a good start. Thank you. Dr. Barros, same thing. Do you think that the main driver is sustainability for the takeoff of this smart city?
I entirely agree with this concept, with this statement, and taking into account that sustainability is the main pillar of life itself in the planet where we live.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything else will be secondary.
Yeah.
Sustainability must be the main driver of anything that we think, plan, and put into operation regarding our smart cities. Otherwise, life itself will not exist.
Yeah.
And by the way, uh, the way we're doing things in the planet today, uh, at least produce a lot of doubts regarding us being alive for the next decades. So it's a point of interest, and it's a crucial point for all planners and authorities, government authorities in the world, to pay attention and to stick to it. Sustainability.
Yeah. I think I fully agree with every word you mention it. I mean, I fully agree. I wanted just to be a little bit positive about this. I'm of a generation. I mean, when I was young, sustainability, it was not really, we don't care about it, isn't it? I have to say that. But I find the new generation very sensitive to sustainability. I mean, my children are more sensitive than I was when I have their age. And I think people are more and more, and young generation is more and more working on this sustainability, and they don't want to do what we did. This is at least they don't have any ambition to have a car, isn't it? When my generation, having a car is a must, means you need to have this car to go everywhere. The new generation, I mean, in Paris, people, the young guys, they don't want to have a car. They consider that is not really something good to have a car in a city. What is it's completely changing in terms of mind, and that are positive signs. Tamer, let's go to you. Tamer in Egyptian and Tamer in other pronunciation. Let's go to you, and you develop a lot about this. Can you please give us your word about sustainability, and if how this sustainability will be the main driver of smart city?
Thank you, and thank you for all. I think sustainability is a big title, but if we link it to the people behavior, it needs awareness. It needs big awareness to the people to know what is the benefit for this sustainability, how to execute it. Without awareness, no one will involve it from the people, because if we ask people to invest money and to educate more technology, for the first impression, they will think it is more sophisticated and it is more highly cost. But if we spoke about the return on this investment and how it become very mandatory to keep our life, otherwise we will face a big challenge even for the daily need, for the electricity, for the water, basic daily need. If I speak about Egypt, especially, and I think it repeated in most of the countries. I think it related how to make awareness in the people to contribute. Smart city, it means the people city. If this smart city didn't match the people need, no one will be interested, no one will be joined, no one will be helped. But if we make approach for the normal people, how this will help them to find job, to find a more easy way to manage their life. and to get more service and to keep the performance of energy, of water, of gas, all the basic needs, they will join. This under the title of sustainability. If we stop them, that if they care about their kids, they have to join, because to keep the resources to the next generation. I think people need something easy, something direct, and with benefit to them, to their life, to their investment, and something like that.
Thank you, Tamer. Dr. Barros, you have Alexander, who thank you for this great presentation. We have people from Canada that joined it, and they were very happy, to hear and to see all those speech. People from Cairo who welcomed Bassam and Tamer. Thank you so much for our attendees for their participation. We are more than 300. I need the numbers later. They will send me the numbers, and more than 182 members in the chat that participated to this event. Let me now ask you for your main, let's say, milestone, main challenge for coming next year. To learn to know you more and about your projects. Let's start with Bassam. What is your main milestone and challenge for next year, Bassam?
Yeah, I would say the most challenging for this year and the next one is actually meeting the demand. Now we're seeing a lot of demand coming for at least the know-how and the competence build up for the partners, for the customers. We're now getting lots of requests for, can we do this in IoT? Can we do that in IoT? And in smart cities, can we do this application? So the challenge now is to respond to all those requests coming all together.
And the semiconductor allocation is not helping your business, isn't it? I guess.
The device makers are living this
exactly.
happily now. At least now I'm in an early stage rather than offering devices.
I can imagine. I can imagine how your life is busy by trying to get what you need to your customer. Good luck, all the best. Now let's go to Tamer. Tamer, please let me know what is your main challenge for next year.
I think the same as Engineer Bassam said, and also how to absorb this new technology, which each day there is a new technology, and how to motivate the young programmers and young developers and young engineers to keep educated and to keep training and to keep reading all this technology. This is really need great motivation for the people also. And for sure, customers coming to us and they hearing about some solutions, this through social media, through TV, and they want this solution. and they looking at this solution as like drag and play, and they need a lot of time, lot of test. I think this is the main challenge.
Yeah, but you are not sad. You are excited, isn't it? I feel you very happy, with this and with your challenge. This is a great. Rosiana, what is your main challenge? You have already awards. You have did a lot. But what is your challenge? I'm very curious.
Yeah, I wanted to keep putting more solutions, more security, more privacy, and integrating more technology in our Smart Campus Facens. We just finished a book about smart city and how to implement in the cities here in Brazil. And now I wanted to teach more students to collect more projects and to help to change the lives of Brazilian people and all the world. Looking for the sustainability, looking for people, put people as the special issue of the smart city. That's what people are not doing nowadays. I think this is a very complicated side. People are thinking about how to sell technology, and the smart city is not related only about technology. Smart city is related about people. So I
Fully
want to
agree.
really to change the mind of everybody here that just think about technology. And I am from technology, 35 years working in technology. So I know that technology is very important, but people are the
Centric.
most important issue that we need to look.
Yeah, means it needs to be people centric and not technology
Yeah,
centric. Thank you so
that's it.
much. I'm really blessed to have you today. Dr. Barros, let's finish with you this round table and this session. Your next milestone, next
Well,
challenge.
yes. All right. Our next challenge here. First of all, I would like to say that I fully agree with Tamer Hamdi
Mhm.
regarding the motivation of people and training and educating people. I agree with him. Uh, but I would say that our main challenge is to keep our gains until now. We have improved a lot. We have um, rode a long way to get to here. And I think we should give our best efforts to keep what we have already gained in terms of quality of life in the cities. I am very worried and very sad when I see trend makers, people who are opinion makers, speaking about or relating, for instance, home office to laziness. Uh, we know the road we traveled until we got to a point of developing so many technological tools that allow home officing today and the gains and the benefits that it brings to everyone. Less CO2 in the cities, less traffic,
Less traffic.
less people uh, uh, jamming the streets. Uh, and there is a survey that was carried out all over the world showing that the companies, the enterprises, they increased their efficiency by over 20% when people were working home office. So I am very worried. I'm very sad when I see trend makers saying, for instance, that home office is laziness.
No,
And
yeah.
why are people saying this? Of course, they are defending their pure and mere commercial interests. This
Of course.
should not be allowed to be spoken out, to be outcasted the way it is. I'm just giving an example. So I think our main challenges to get today, repeating, is to keep our gains and keep on the road, improving upon our gains, upon our improvements.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say I fully 100% agree. I never been so happy than after when the COVID. I use it to travel a lot. I use it to, I spent all my life in technology business, and I had to travel a lot. I mean, I love it all what I see, so it's not a problem. But also I spend my life without my children, and now I'm spending more time at home. I'm working more, by the way, Dr. Barros. I'm working more efficiently, and I have the chance to spend time with my children and to see many things that I have not seen 20 years of my, global traveling. I fully agree with you. And working from home is not easy. It is really being more efficient, and having contact with people also is a great, but we need this balance, isn't it? This great balance. I'm really blessed today to have everyone, to have Egypt, to have Brazil, to have Europe, to have. I mean, this is a great moment that we have in must B2B metaverse to be able to discuss with experts, to exchange with them, and to give people what they have not been able, to get years before. Because here, everything is open, they can reach, and we have more and more audience looking, for people, for experts to understand better those technologies, to understand better also what existing, like what we have in campus in Brazil, and also to change the world positively. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you for your participation. We need to be people centric. I love it every moment with you. Believe me, I love it every moment with you. Thank you so much. And let's make it happen time to time. Thank you. And
Thanks a
bye
lot.
bye. Just the
Thank
last
you.
word. The replays of all our conference are already online. Means for people that missed conferences, you can already access to the replays. You have access directly to the speakers. Please don't hesitate to ask your questions to Bassam, to Regina, to Dr. Barros, to everybody. Just make it, open, cool, and people-centric. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye, Hanin.
Bye.
Thank you.